For a limited time, the trunk of Massachusetts' first governor, John Hancock, will be on display at the Worcester Historical Museum. The Revolutionary leader and statesman kept important documents in the trunk during the Battle of Lexington and Concord. Our Roslyn Flaherty saw the display and has the details. Roslyn?
Yeah, Brittany, the Worcester Historical Museum celebrated the original Patriots Day today with a rare display of the trunk. They say they only take it out once a year because it's so fragile. It only comes out once a year at the Worcester Historical Museum.
It was there. It was part of the making of the American Revolution, the seeds of that war.
This leather-covered trunk belonged to John Hancock. In it, the statesman kept important documents his fellow patriots wanted to make sure the British didn't get during the Battle of Lexington and Concord.
They were the minutes of the meetings of the Provincial Congress and correspondence between the revolutionary leaders. And any of that would have gotten them in huge trouble with the British.
Curator Holly Izard says Paul Revere carried the heavy trunk to a safe place in 1775.
He's running this thing out with his relative while the British are gathering on either side. And the musket balls are firing, and he was caught in the middle of the beginning of the war.
Izard says after the Revolution, it was stored in the home of Hancock's widow. Their niece discovered it and sent the empty trunk to the American Antiquarian Society. It was brought to the Worcester Historical Museum in 1895.
It has been treated, it's been conserved, and you can see it's still pretty battered, but that's the best you can do.
The Worcester Historical Museum says it only goes on display once a year because the trunk is fragile and if exposed to light can easily get destroyed.
It's in a climate-controlled place, and it's just a treat to bring it out only once a year.
They say it's an hour-long process to bring it up into the case because it's so heavy, and say they can't imagine what it was like for Paul Revere.
We're bringing it up an elevator. You can imagine two guys running through the woods with bullets flying past their heads trying to carry this thing filled with papers. It takes it to a whole nother level for you.
Now the trunk will be on display until the end of April. Brittany.